Okay, this is our mentor meeting from March 14th, and it's the day before spring break. And this is about the 3.4 assignment where I created a math disabilities resource, and also we can talk a little bit about the math IEP because that was a previous assignment that I did. Pause it for a second, Zach. So we were just talking about this before we started the video, and just about finding resources. Yesterday you had mentioned education. I think it was education.com, and they had some stuff. There was something called study.com that had a lot of videos, but you had to be a member and pay to watch a lot of this stuff.
I feel like there's a website called like Utopia or something.
Edutopia.
Like that. Edutopia. Yeah, that would make more sense.
I do look a lot at that.
Yeah, that just came to my head right now.
There's a lot of articles, so I'll look at that one too. But the assignment is to link articles and videos that can support teachers in planning for students with math disabilities. So one of the things that I came across too was that a lot of math strategies do require a certain level of language, reading comprehension. So that was one thing I was wondering, like, what do you do if you've got a student who is struggling, but like they can't read the problem?
Yeah, I feel like you just have to read it to them. I mean, I feel like videos also help with our one like kindergarten friend.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any reading skills either, so that's why I've been playing like songs, but we're still able to like count and go from there, and it's something that she's actually interested in.
Yeah. But then it might also just expose that there's another deficit on that, like another deficit in your reading or your comprehension, or your
Well, I can think of just friends that are in here that have struggled not with reading but with the comprehension aspect of it, and it definitely affects his math work.
Yeah, because they can't make sense of what you're asking them to do, even if it's said verbally sometimes. But in the more resource class, I even see it there. Like, we'll be talking about something, and then I'll assist them with a quiz.
Yeah.
And we haven't comprehended as much as when we're talking. But I guess that's where the IEP comes in with your read aloud.
Yeah.
With giving them manipulatives, giving them a scribe, I think, too. Those accommodations would be helpful. So one of the articles that I thought was really interesting that I would love to read, but it was like $65 if I wanted to read it. But I read the abstract and stuff, and basically it interviewed teachers. I think you would find this interesting. So it interviewed teachers, and it was pulling like certain words that the teachers used when asked about the capabilities of the students that they teach. So if they were using words that were more negative, or like they called it unproductive versus productive, students with disabilities, the language was much more unproductive. So it just basically, the purpose was for people to be more self-aware of how they are viewing these students, and using that when you're working on like, what am I going to do for them? Well, it's like, well, first you need to check yourself. Like, how are you looking at this student? Do you know them? Do you know what they can do? Do you know what their deficits are? Or are you just looking at them like they're a problem that you need to check off? You know what I'm saying?
It's so sad.
It is sad, but like, it's something that you could, just learning to be self-aware, you might even realize that. So I thought that was cool. This was like very, it was from 2023. The other thing that we've talked about that we've both used are these iris modules. I love those. They're very time consuming, but like,
they're good.
Every single one I've done has, so I probably actually will do this entire thing just because I want to.
Yeah.
And then I found some TED Talks about just like, there was one of a student with I don't know how to say dyscalculia, but it was from the kids' perspective of like, it's a specific learning disability for math. So talking about, you know, how she has felt going through school.
Yeah.
So I think, how much we got? Computer. Any thoughts on this? Do you use any resources regularly, or I feel like we
I feel like I make up my own things when I do stuff. Like I use the curriculum and then I just think of things like with like
to
the
supplement.
books, yeah, like the books with songs and stuff like that. But like one thing I do use for one of our kids is she likes to watch videos, not the kindergarten friend, but the other one. And sometimes I'll just play a video about like regrouping or whatever it might be, because I feel like she's understanding stuff like that more.
Yeah.
Versus me just telling her.
Yeah,
how to
she's
do
more
it.
of a visual
Yeah.
learner. And then also, I feel like we are restricted by the scripting of the curriculum.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
So to find stuff that supports that, you really do have to just go searching or ask other people what they've used. So, I think that's it though.
Yep.